can't believe my eyes, so many women without a flaw. And I ain't gon' give it up, steady tryna pick it up like a car.
Hello, welcome to the first Detroit Soccer District podcast where we talk all things soccer and the Detroit soccer landscape. I'd like to send a shout out to Soccer Plus for all the gear that they provided for us. They're located in Livonia and Novi, Michigan. We got 4 topics tonight: increasing popularity in the lower division systems, the U.S. style of play, youth, no heading rules, and growing soccer in the inner city. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce our cast here.
I'm Marcos Pereira. I manage Várzea FC. We play NUSL West Region, over 30, over 40, and now over 48.
Nice. Keith Baldwin, from England, London originally, and coach over here. Coach for a number of teams in Detroit, coach for the Nationals right now, and also run the legendary UK Royals over 40 in the MUSL, and still play over 30 when I can.
Thomas Kamenu, teammate of Joe's.
Yeah. No, there's more to Thomas. He's the most unorthodox player you know. Yeah, go ahead, but he's the most effective player. You can share, man. Go ahead.
All right. I just play with Joe. I coach foundation soccer with Detroit City, and that's about.
Where'd you play college?
Evergreen State College. It's kind of a hippie school. And yeah, I guess they allowed a lot of different styles to bloom there. So that's where I fit in. NAIA school.
Yeah. All right.
Where is this school?
Olympia, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty good in the NAIA, right?
Yeah, when I was there, best couple of years in the history of the school. So.
Oh, nice. All right. No further ado, we'll get into it. So, Marcos, I'll start with you, mate, and everyone can chime in. How and why should we make the lower divisions in the U.S. more popular? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this thing because it's not only soccer, but I think every sport and every entertainment thing, I think people only look the top, the best, and we forget to look everywhere, and you have fun watching every game, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the game have to be competitive to be fun, and I think it's something that we need to change in our mentality to be able to watch more teams of our community playing than only stick on your home watching the top division on the TV, right? It's not only the matter of you watch the game, but you be involved with your community and help grow more players in the base. Because today the soccer in the end is only focused, even here in US, we talk about European soccer, right? And even in Brazil, where I come from, European soccer start becoming more important than the local teams too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So when I brought this topic to you, it's really how can we? And I know that's hard because as the media put only the focus on what is on the top. The media doesn't help, and even people try to accommodate and say, "Oh no, I'm gonna stay home. I want to watch the game." And the max that you see people going out is to see their kids playing, right, in the youth.
Yeah.
But
what division are you talking about that's not popular?
Even in Europe, you see the second division more popular, even maybe the third. In Brazil, the second and the third is pretty much nobody in the fields there. Here in US, what we have here is a little bit more complicated, the leagues, right?
Right, but you got Detroit City.
Detroit City have fans there, right?
Oh,
but
8,000, huh?
Yeah, Cincinnati is now MLS, but they grew from a lower division. I mean, it's just thinking like you say, and you go Brazil or England and soccer countries. I got friends who are Palace fans like myself, and when Palace don't play, they go to a non-league game. But they're more like connoisseurs of the game, and they want to watch the game. In America, it's like you just go for the experience. So I think the ones that have done it well, like Detroit City, and I don't know Cincinnati too well, but I assume that they created the family experience. and that's what really gets the fans in.
You can't forget the Bucks too.
And the Bucks.
Yeah, you guys
Now
been
up in
any other
Flint,
games?
right?
Man, they're a solid squad. You ever see Bucks play?
Well, I've watched them play. I haven't been.
Oh,
to a
they're a
game, but
good
they
team,
stream their
but
game.
how is the audience for their games? It's like Detroit FC?
Not as good, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, they're just moving to Flint. Demir and then Andy Wagstaff are taking them over this year, and they're the only show now in Flint. So I think that's they're going to pull a lot of youth soccer players. If you can engage like the clubs and get them to the games, then that's a big start.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It's all about the experience because like I went to a DC United game last week, and you could tell nobody knew anything about soccer, but like the quality of that game was top notch. You could see how the players held the ball, and like I love that. I was thriving in that. But then I have a guy next to me saying, "Play soccer," and that was like, okay, what is that? What is that?
What were they doing? They got baseball bats out instead or something?
Exactly. So like, experience. Like the American culture so far only cares about experience. That's what they're trying to build, I think. Just culture. Just now.
Yeah, let's talk about here. I say globally in Brazil we have problem because only the big games have audience. When you go out of the big cities, it's like you have 1,000 people in the stadium in the first division.
That's not
game.
true. Look at Chapecoense.
Brazil.
Chapecoense is an exception, but look Ponte Preta, Guarani, that's countryside of São Paulo.
Ah, that's São Paulo. Who cares about São Paulo?
Oh, it's the rest of Brazil too.
I'm from the Northeast, man, and I represent the Northeast.
Yeah.
So.
But I say it's matter of spreading more the side because when you look soccer in the world and now looking from the Brazil side more, if you don't play first division, you're gonna die poor there. You're not gonna make too much money, and the place for a first division is tight for the number of players, right? I say
that's Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how is in Europe this thing? The salary is more like second division, third division. You can make your living for your life there.
Big money in the championship in England, and then you go to your third division, your League One, League Two. It's the better players are probably on 40,000-50,000 a year. I mean, not too much, but full-time pros.
That's League Two.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. That's
good.
That's what some players are making in MLS.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I don't know the exact wages, but I know you're a full-time pro if you're in League 3 and League 4.
What I mean, okay, so now
you're not getting rich, but you're paying your bills.
how are you gonna make it popular? No player in their right mind, if they want to like maybe start a family or even put food on the table for themselves, they're not gonna be in these lower divisions in the United States if they can't earn a wage.
Well, it's like all sports in America. If you, it's like baseball. I mean, I'm not a real baseball fan, but I saw a documentary on the guys in the AAA and all that. These guys, they're not even making anything. Like they're hardly even be able to buy anything. So, but everyone's got the dream, right? You're going to be the one who's going to get picked up.
Yeah.
You're going to be the one who's scouted.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the people who own the AAA baseballs, like Toledo Mud Hens or whatever, the owners are getting rich because they're filling the stadiums because they make an experience. There's not much else to do in Toledo.
Yeah.
Ohio's a shithole. And it's but that's what it is. Lower divisions here. But I think soccer's a bit different because you're not unlike baseball. If you're playing for Detroit City, you've probably got other things going on. You're probably quite young, and you still got a chance of getting picked up. If you're 26, 27, 28, and your chance is gone, you've probably got something else going on the side.
Yeah, but Marco's made a good point. He's like, why not extend the useful life of a player?
Yeah, because I think that's the important, because men and players most come from poor families, right? So they
That's not true.
not true today. Yeah.
Stereotypes.
But I know. Yeah, but if you dedicate the life that you can grow in another in another job in that 20 to 30 years old, right? If you then go to the market, find another job after you play soccer, how are you gonna find a good job after that?
What are you saying? You want good wages for 30-something ex-pros?
I don't know. We need to build something.
But
that
isn't the point
why-
of a second and third league in America as the game's growing to have an opportunity for those 17, 18-year-old or just come out of colleges, those type of players to play, rather than now if a 35-year-old who's really good wants to come and play and mentor others and still play but not worried about the money, that's one thing. But where are you going to get the money from to pay them if they want more money?
I don't say high salary there, but livable salary.
No
I,
way.
and I think
don't
these
think
go
that-
together. I don't know if these go
If
together.
you're a good enough
in-
player, you would be able to play there. You'd be able to get some coaching gigs. You'd be able to get some other stuff going on. to supplement it.
Go to
Yeah.
Dubai. You gotta, if you're older than 35, go to Dubai.
It's not the cheapest place, but
Yeah, you're right. But they pay big money for players like that, and
Oh, they pay China.
China
Well,
too. Yeah.
I mean,
China, they pay big
not
bucks
for
there.
anyone. You gotta be in the top league in
Yeah,
Europe.
they-
Something.
yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah, I say it's worse than the other jobs, right? If you fail there, and sometimes you fail not only because it's not only about the skills, it's politics there. You're gonna see many players that not gonna succeed. That's much better than people even playing top teams.
I was
Right.
thinking about that. People say that all the time, like, oh,
Oh,
say, but like, okay, I grew up. My family's from Northeast Brazil. A big person that came out of there from my mom's city was Rivaldo, and then some people would bash him, like, oh yeah, I knew players better than him, but where are they at?
yeah, I know. If you're lucky, is have a good manager there that help if be the right place on the right time there.
But I think if you have that, like, you have what differentiates people like from like being great, superstar, world class, is like that 1 inch, and I think like players like Rivaldo had that, or players like, let's say, Landon Donovan in the United States. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think it's that thing. It's being the right time, right place, and you can be pick up there and work hard.
Yeah.
Work hard.
There's a lot
Of
more
course.
to it than that, but that's part of it. You gotta have
Yeah.
the skill and you gotta have the dedication and.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, you can tell
true,
a
many
little
not
bit.
gonna
You can
succeed,
tell who has
right?
the potential. I hate it when being around youth soccer for 20 years in different states. There, you see kids who are good, and some
Right,
people
yeah.
who are just like, parents who are like 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds just thinking their kids, because their kids really good at that age, that they're on a great course for Division 1 scholarship. It's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you can tell kids who have potential at 8, 9, but there's so much growing stuff going on, like 13, 14, 15. That's the age when you're really their brain functions and the soccer intelligence. It's that extra half a second where you find that pass and you make that pass, that makes you play quicker than others. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it, but, there's a whole different topic of how you find talent when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Going back to these lower leagues, I'm confused. What's we've gone
No,
to Brazil. We've gone back.
No,
We're back in now with the pros.
That's the thing.
What do you want with these lower
Here.
leagues in America? In American lower
Yeah.
leagues, what do you
Well,
want?
if we can bring them more popular,
Well, what's not
because-
popular? Which ones aren't? You got Detroit that's made it. You got Cincinnati's doing well. Bucks do decent.
Another
Michigan
big
Stars,
thing is futsal's coming big too in Detroit. Futsal.
Yeah, well, there's
And that's
futsal.
there's a lower league of futsal too.
Ann Arbor, Drew Ducker doing the mud puppies out there. I mean, they're sustaining, and it's building the interest from the youth. Like, I've been involved with the futsal, and as Drew Ducker's done the futsal academy, and my daughter's played, and now more kids. Since she's been playing 5 years, he's got more teams. And, we just went out to Kansas, and I think 5 of our teams got to the finals, and 2 of them won it. So.
Nationals?
Yeah,
What's
Nationals.
What's the team name?
Michigan Futsal Academy.
Okay, I heard Detroit Elite FC is pretty good too.
That's another one. That's a
From
newer
the
one.
from the boys.
But
side.
the more that we can have some local strong competition, because the Futsal Academy, we were only having to, there wasn't many good competition. Even you go to Chicago, there's 1 or 2 teams. So if you go to like an Ohio competition that come up from places, but you need areas that focus on futsal.
Yeah. So get back to the lower leagues. Defend it.
No, if it's happening, maybe it's good. If
Yeah.
maybe soccer here is young, it's too young, right?
No,
Soccer
I mean,
in
it's
US.
like, yeah, well,
And
it's not
now
that young
now it's
anymore.
growing strong. Was like the young age takes a while here. We have pretty good 70s, then the thing pretty much disappeared in the 80s, right?
And
I mean,
And
they
then start
I
coming back
mean, they've
after
grown,
the World Cup.
MLS,
here.
the league's grown, and,
And
there's
maybe it's
the
it's
Open
time
Cup,
to
Riverhounds. There's been a whole bunch of teams that are
don't
lower
forget the
leagues that
Rockers,
done
Detroit
well.
Rockers, back
And
in the
the-
90s,
and the-
baby.
And maybe basically because the size of the country, you'll be more like, because Brazil in the past was more like this. The state cups, the state championship was more important than national one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Remember
yeah.
when São Paulo League was more important than the Brazil League? Rio League was much more important than the Brazil League.
Yeah, but
And
there's
then
a
we
big
keep
reason
going
for
back
it.
to Brazil, but
Yeah.
Brazil's like,
no,
no, but
I
I'm
know
just saying.
but if
but
it's
you're-
size
It's good
of
to
country,
compare.
right?
No, but it's
Yeah,
like
it's good to
Brazil.
compare what
Yeah,
I mean,
it's we cannot fall like Brazil fall. That only MLSL will be, MLS will be important. We need to. The
But
others
if
be
you go to a
important
lower
too.
league game in Brazil, I mean, I've been to Brazil. I haven't been to a lower league
Yeah.
game in Brazil, but it's I assume you go because the people understand the game and they want to see the game, and then it's maybe their local team.
Yeah.
They're not so much going for like an experience or a day out. They just because they've chosen a team to support,
Mm-hmm.
and they go to watch the game and see the quality and skill of the players. And in America, you don't set up too many teams like that. They go, business people buy a franchise or set up a team with the aim of growing it into a franchise, and then create an experience for people to come.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
maybe
just- it's
this
just- it's
is
just very
different than Brazil.
Yeah.
Because Brazil, the problem is the small teams start losing their fans because with the TV and internet, the guy that lives in the other side of the north
That's true.
side is support a team in São Paulo. Is they just look the top teams because
That's
the
true.
TV bring you that there.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 20 years ago,
That's
the
right, yeah.
the games was only one game that show in the TV, 2 games per week. So the guy have to follow the local team
Right.
if he wants to see
Right.
games. Now he don't go in the morning stage because they want to see the big teams play.
It all has to do with infrastructure.
Yeah, it's infrastructure, and
It's
if we
10,
build
15 years
here
ago.
that we's building more, maybe here gonna succeed more in this thing.
Yeah, I just say my question
Yeah.
is where's it not succeeding? If you wanted the question of how do we improve the lower leagues,
Yeah.
what's wrong with the lower leagues here?
Oh, here I don't know. I follow more of Brazil and Europe.
He wants.
And-
He's
and
thinking
I
about making
brought-
it more popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to DCFC. They
Oh, the CFC.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
even
go
got a
to
spot on
games
FIFA.
there.
They got a spot on FIFA. FIFA did a whole story on them. So
yeah,
that was
they are great.
Yeah, so they're getting popular. Flint Bucks, I think they need
Bucks,
more recognition.
Bucks, because I went to see one game between them, the Detroit fans get pretty
Yeah,
much the.
but I think the quality
scene
at the
there.
Bucks is like
Oh, Bucks is better.
the
team
quality.
than
The
them,
quality is like
Yeah.
phenomenal, man. They import people from all over the
Yeah.
and you see their touch. The touch is pinpoint.
Yeah, they are better.
Yeah.
They win. They
Well,
they
Did they
win the
lose
game
to
three
the Detroit
3-0.
City before the past
It's
couple of
normally
years?
pretty close when they
Yeah.
play. I'm
They
sure
were
I'm
close.
sure they'll play a friendly at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
like normal.
Detroit FC varies too much because they rebuild the team pretty much every year, right?
Nah,
As
they
I
have tryouts. I
understand.
mean, but
Yeah.
they have a consistent that core, and then. But yeah, that's a lower league, and I think they're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
fine.
they won one league
So-
below, right?
So what? Yeah, what
Yeah.
are they USPL or what is that? What, does anyone know?
They create a new league now.
Yeah, they created a new league.
MPSL and then MPSL Pro, but it's called Founders Cup
No, Founders Cup.
for Detroit City.
Yeah, you
and
would
So
know.
it's MPSL, and then there's a new. It's going to be
New league, yeah.
MPSL professional full season next year, but after the MPSL regular season, they're going to have something called Founders Cup, where it's the professional teams, the Cosmos and all them.
Well,
Oh,
they're gonna
wow.
play with
Nice.
Cosmos in that
Yeah.
league.
All right, well, let's move on. I think we butchered this lower division thing. So
Never
so-
knew so much about the Brazil lower leagues. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, so, let's talk about the U.S. system. So, like, with these futsal teams and all these lower league divisions, so what do you think, what kind of style of play are they instilling here? Like, what is the style of play in the U.S.? What's the U.S. system?
It's 4-3-3. That's what they teach throughout the system. That's what they want. Unless they've changed it in the past year, but being involved with the academy, especially Klinsmann put it down that he wanted 4-3-3, and that then all the age groups were going to play 4-3-3. If you ran a director's academy or coaching it like I did at the Wolves for a while, you didn't have to do a 4-3-3, but it was kind of preferred.
Why?
That's what they're looking for.
Why?
Well,
I
they
think
like
because
it.
also
It's
4-3-3 become pretty much most big teams Europe. One and another play different, but 4-3-3 is the more common now there, right?
It's a mix. I mean, it's definitely a popular one. To me, formations come in trends.
Yeah,
There's always a
definitely.
new thing.
Unlike
They do a false 9, and everyone wants to do a
I
false
saw
9.
W once.
Yeah.
Back in like.
oh
the
yeah,
70s.
was MW, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a 4-2-2-4,
Yeah.
3-2-2-3,
Yeah, I saw
something
that
like.
before.
But this is was the 56, the big team there, not Germany that won the cup. What?
56.
Yeah, what the best team there? Germany won the cup, but
50 was Uruguay.
no, 56 was.
It wouldn't even be
that Brazil
56. It'd be
and Sweden?
54.
No, Sweden. Yeah, Sweden have a great
It's
team.
54. 1950.
No, 54. Sorry,
Yeah,
54.
66, 62, 58, 54.
54. Was Sweden the big team? No,
Yeah.
wasn't
We're
Sweden.
going back now 7
Hungary.
years.
Maybe Hungary.
Yeah, that's
Hungary
the one
was a
that
big
played
guy.
the MW thing.
And Netherlands, they had the total football in the 80s, right?
It's 70s with Cruyff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
But these are formations.
change.
Not,
Yeah.
I mean, it somewhat dictates style, but
yeah. His style is a little bit different too, right?
Yeah. But what is that? The formation. I can't. So like, why did he choose that? Is it because of the type of players that he has? Like, is he? I think, man, 3 in the middle, you get killed against a great team.
Yeah, that for me, this thing with formation, I always think that the coach have to have at least two formation because they need to transition during the game.
Well, you got to have a
sometimes.
style, but you got to be able to change. and-
Yeah, you
Why
have
you
to be able
I'm
to.
laughing because sometimes I do pay attention to formation, but I'm really not paying attention to formation that much.
Unorthodox.
Okay,
coach.
on our team we play a 3-back.
Yeah.
Me and Joe.
I like
Yeah.
the 3-back.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like 3-back.
some of the times only time I'm really thinking about the formation is when I see somebody who's
Out of
the
position.
wing back, the 5. It's a 3-back,
'Cause
but it's
he's-
more like a 5-back.
Mhm.
And I'm the other winger, and I see what the other wing back's doing, and it's like, do they know that this 3-back really is a 5-back, and that they have to get back and cover that guy?
Yeah.
And that's like most of the time I'm paying attention
think-
to
Wait,
tactics.
which league is this?
formation.
Which league is it?
It's an indoor league. we
Indoor
play.
league.
Yeah.
So
11
we're
v 11.
comparing that to the US national team's style of play.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah, I think
when
we
you
follow
say if I'm looking at it's like
I'm just saying that
I know. I'm just
personally don't pay that much attention to
Yeah.
formation.
right. But if you're a
as far as
professional,
my style of what's the U.S. style of play, are we looking at the U.S. national team? And if we're talking about an American style of play, would that translate down to
It is.
like younger kids?
What is it? What's the
That's
US
what I-
side?
well, it depends on if you're in a club. You could translate it down if your coaching director has a set policy and wants
What's
it to be.
that? What's the style at nationals?
Well, G, who's doing the coaching manual, and he's still yet to put it out. But so there's not a definitive. Hey, we're going to play this type of formation. But the style is always quick passing, aggressive and attacking. It's just-
Aggressive.
yeah, I mean typical.
Say it.
Typical. I mean, is a bit more aggressive than say some other clubs, but.
Typical aggressive American style.
No, I don't mean it like that.
Okay.
But I mean, you got to find that balance of winning the ball and then what you do with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so both are important. And some teams, can be have the players to be able to play a lot more one touch and fluid possession, and others maybe have to use their physicality a bit more depending on the players.
Yeah,
I
think everything depends on the players. that you have.
In Detroit, I think the style can translate because Detroit's largely African American, and I think a style of flair and a more like artful style can be rooted here in Detroit instead of like the aggressive.
But then you're not talking for me. You talk about art or more physical game, right?
Yeah, you play an Albanian team.
Yeah, you have to be physical. But who is it that? Okay, let's think of African teams. They're very physical. They're very fast. Can't shoot. That's my opinion. But Brazil always.
Yeah, Drogba was rubbish.
Who?
Drogba.
Drogba was
Useless.
a king, man. How you kidding?
Oh, he was African, wasn't he?
Yeah, but yeah, he's an exception. Him and Eto'o are exceptions, and a few others.
Never
but
be another good striker out of Africa. Sadio Mane. But yes.
keep going. I mean, keep going. Keep going. Who's from Palace?
Roger Miller, come on.
Roger Miller, Cameroon. Yeah.
Oh, Roger Miller.
Roger
Yeah.
Miller, come
That's
on.
great.
I didn't
Mo
say-
Salah's crap as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, they can't shoot. Carry on, Joe.
They okay, but no. Think of Brazil. How many times did they lose to African nation teams? It's rare, isn't it?
Nigeria in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Olympics final, right? That was a few years ago.
Was Olympic or final?
Yeah, it was
semi-final?
Olympics,
We lost-
1996, right before 1997.
Yeah, it was semi-final, right, or final?
Yeah, it was something. It was
Yeah,
the
well,
it was
Olympics.
well,
96. It was
Soccer in
right
the
before
Olympics
the war.
doesn't really matter, but
Was
Yeah.
Luxembourg the coach, right?
Yeah,
when we
it
lost,
does
so-
matter to Brazil. Didn't you see Neymar celebrating like crazy when he won the Olympics?
Okay. So how does
It's
this
so lame.
what style of play? What are you trying to get to with this?
I'm saying like,
For you're talking about Brazil against Africa.
well, he's saying
we're
like,
back in Brazil now, Tom.
no. All
I
right,
think we're going to be in Brazil a lot
we're
with
gonna
these
be in
two.
Brazil. We can be in England. We can be in Detroit.
No,
Let's
I'm,
be in
I'm
Detroit.
fine with that. I'm just
No,
trying
so
to see
what I'm
what
saying,
do you mean by
he's
style
like-
of play.
So he said an Albanian team's aggressive. Yeah. Okay,
or
but
dirty, one of the others.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm saying like, I think like art style like a tiki taka, for instance, that outbeats the aggressive play for sure. Like he was, and I was comparing Brazil and African nations because African nations have an aggressive style of play, and then Brazil has a, like I would say, kind of flair style of play, and they have a good track record against African nations.
Okay.
Brazil have the quality play in terms of tactical game.
Yeah,
I think it's
I get it. There's different
Cool.
levels there.
Yeah.
Different levels.
I think just like pinpointing style of play in such a large country with, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think if there's one archetype of player that I see is valued a lot in the U.S. style, it's a type of dribble who's a charger.
Yeah.
Someone who gets the ball in the midfield
Yeah.
and kind of just hunkers down and is very fast and just runs forward with the ball.
Or crash
that's-
the net, as they say in America,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
Go
think-
crash the net.
I think that like that dribbling style, that's like the most. I don't know about other countries, but when they're like, this guy's really good, and I watch them, and it's like they're just like
Fast.
they're just
Fast
running
and-
with the ball straight up the middle in the midfield. They're not like looking where the passing options were open. They're like, I'm taking this to the house.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd agree with Tom a lot
Yeah.
because you look at, who gets the respect. Like Pulisic, good player, tons of potential. I'm glad he's not getting dogged on, but he's made a few mistakes. And then someone like Michael Bradley, like America loves to hate Michael Bradley
Yeah.
because he doesn't score
He's
too many
simple,
goals, but
simple.
he's
He's
good.
simple.
He's done well for America
Yeah,
over the years.
he's
I mean,
simple.
is he going to be in the world 11? No, but
Yeah.
he deserves a lot more respect than he gets in this country.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I think Detroit has the potential with the who lives here, like the residents here. They have a potential to create their own style and a successful style.
Well, we have a lot of players
yeah,
who make the
I'm-
national team from
I'm not
Detroit,
gonna say only
from different
Detroit.
ages.
Yeah, yeah,
In
that's
the
true.
women's and
Yeah,
men's,
yeah,
under
Suni.
15s, under 17s.
I remember I played
Nationals,
Saad,
Hawks
Josh
players all
Gad.
get called up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
U.S. have the same, let's say, environment to create players like Brazil is mix of
Back in
many
Brazil.
nationalities. no,
I need a buzzer here. Every time I hear Brazil, I'm going to hit a buzzer.
Hit the bell.
Alright.
Hit the bell.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
no, we have the mix of many nationalities here,
Yeah.
and it's same as Brazil. Brazil is a mix of many nationalities,
That's true.
and the soccer is become popular with the youth. So it's just matter of playing and move up to the professional level, right? We have all the potential to create great players in the
Yeah.
future.
I want to get away from I want U.S. style. Like I want to get away from try to emulate in Europe or anything else like that.
The only thing that I complain a little bit because my son play youth here, and I think there is 1 year, and then he start not liking too much, because I think up to one age, and you said, and you coach youth have more to say than me. But
I
I
don't
think
think so.
as you said, 15 that the players start knowing more about the game. But until 15, the thing has to be more fun for the kids. something that they can develop more creativity.
Well, not go
on
not
the
to,
field,
not to yeah.
on more creativity
I
on
get
the
what you're
field
saying,
and
and
take risk.
Right.
But what started happening? He was 10 years old, and the coach already trying to put too much tactics and not and kept the
Yeah, but
creativity
you're
part.
you're going down a whole
And
huge,
this
huge new topics here, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, you got to have age appropriate development. You got to have a coach that encourages risk and doesn't bash them for mistakes. Because how else do you learn by making mistakes? You got to have that, learn discovery of development. My point when I just said 15 is, there's no, you can't tell a great player. You look at someone like, someone who's been in the news right now, Declan Rice, because he's the guy who switched from Ireland to England. He was released at Chelsea at 15, 16. He wasn't meant to be the hot new thing, so he accepted to play for Ireland in the youth levels at 15, 16. And now, 4 years, he's had a huge trajectory. And at 20, he's the star for West Ham.
Mo Salah, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, he flopped at Chelsea after moving from Basel. I mean, but he's even a bit older. But I'm just saying, if you're it was in relation to a point of who can maybe make it. Someone at 10 you can say they got potential, but someone at 15 is that if they're cognitively reading the game faster than others and they've got that technical skill, that's someone you can maybe pinpoint a bit more.
I went to the urban soccer diploma in Washington D.C. for United Soccer Coaches, and they have that. They have late bloomers. Late bloomers. I was one of them. Hit the bell when I was in Brazil playing. When I was in Brazil playing, I was one of the average players, but like I late bloomed, and they used to call me perna de pau, which means like wooden leg. So I would like.
It's still.
So yeah, I was not good until.
What's that? Explain it.
Wooden leg. It means like you have like planks for legs and you kick around like the ball comes in.
Oh,
and just
like your
bounces.
tree trunk. Okay.
You
Tree
can
trunks,
control
yeah.
the ball.
Different to a third leg.
Elephant touch.
I just want to know. just a full explainer on that.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, there's late bloomers, and like we have to nourish that, man. Like, if they start getting focused on Fortnite at 15 or whatever, I don't know what the kids are into, but nourish the kids, man. Have it fun, yeah. But at the same time, that's like the learning period.
I understand, but you have to understand that you have to give the tactical and the game reading. Of course, that they have to learn in the young age, but you can pressure too much them to learn because you can make them not like the game too, right? And you can keep a little bit the skills of develop their art. You think more.
All right, let's just wrap up with this
technical
because I know we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
It was like you want what's the US style of play? I get all four of us. What is it in your opinion in like 20 seconds?
Kick and run.
How was it in yours, Tom?
You go first.
Tom needs more time.
I would say you'll be more a tactical
You know what? You have a
organized.
couple of minutes there.
You'll be more a tactical, organized thing with contact. More like a tactical.
You think it's tactical?
Yeah,
Tactical,
more
right.
tactical. You'll be more tactical than art or any other thing. More like a England style, but yeah, more like that.
What's it? I would say what's an England style, but that's a whole other thing. Because England style is different now to what it used to be. I would say the US style. I know they tried to originally when they were crafting the style, they wanted to be a mix between European and Brazilian soccer. So yeah, listen, I got about 100 more Brazils to go. 100 more Brazils to go before I get my first ding.
But I agree that they can do that.
They want to be a mix, and they've done a decent job of it. And why they do the 4-3-3 is to have that wingers and have the attack, and then they how to do the press and stuff. But it's possession based with a bit more. It's that mix of the build up, the slow build up of Italians, and then the attacking style of the Brazilians. With it's meant to be somewhere in the middle, and as they try and find their own identity, that's what they're looking for.
Anyone see that video from the Wolves? I think Scott Dewell's program. His players they had that teamwork goal.
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
That was nice, man. I was like, this is coming out of Michigan. I was like, yeah. Oh man, I'll show you later. It's beautiful.
Send.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so for my style, I would say, like probably any other country, there are a lot of styles in different areas, especially with all the different types of communities, depending on your nationality and those enclaves. You could have a lot of different styles, but as far as like American style, would be what is valued and what is allowed to be passed on to the next level or the higher level, and then what's put onto the American team. So I'd say someone is physically stronger and faster. There's not a lot of, you don't have somebody like Iniesta would be on your team, somebody who's like probably not somebody you'd be like, wow, that guy, like you wouldn't look at Iniesta and be like, that guy's real strong, or that guy's an athlete if you saw him with the shirt off.
True.
So like you probably nobody on the American team would be like that. So I'd say somebody who's very fit, very fast.
Physical, right?
Physical,
yeah.
And then now I think somebody who's technically developed, like, and they want to keep the ball a lot, but I think has been taken to a certain extent without that kind of creativity or like wanting to score. They're more technically developed now, but without that like understanding of going. That creativity is missing. There's something. They're like technical robots a little bit, going towards that. It seems like, and I don't know. Right now, I'm not the biggest fan of like that stuff. The U.S. team.
Yeah, because unfortunately for you, people don't understand. If you guys seen Tommy play, he's very effective. He always wins the ball, and he does some good things. But I don't think people value that because they want a fast kid that can just run down the flanks.
I value you, Tommy.
Thank you.
I mean,
you seen him play?
I'm definitely not the.
No, but I value
I
him.
want to use me as like a total example. But
I value Tom. I'm waiting him to turn 30 years old to be in the team.
He wants
there.
to pick him up for his team.
I mean, I would see players that are much better than me and are very skilled and aren't like they. And I see them running for a ball, and it's not like, oh, they're fast. It's like this guy's kind of can't really move around that well, but they find really good passes. They're very skilled in that way, and sometimes it's a little sloppy, but they're really trying things a lot of the time, which I don't think is valued in the U.S.
All right. So we got here. Let's transition here. Let's go on and you probably have a big say on this. The thoughts of the no heading rules.
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me. It's a good idea, and it's pretty stupid to argue against it these days. You know. Why would you need a 9-year-old to head the ball? Just because I headed the ball in England, from a keeper's punt, and I remember heading it, wrong, and it hurt the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? If you're trying to build a technical game, then you want a big, strong, someone who's 8 and maybe is, developing quicker and a foot taller than everyone else, whacking the ball and heading the ball when little kids can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's health and safety, and it helps you develop a better technical game. And I think 11 and 12 is the right age to change it. And like my daughter, she's she's in her first year of heading, and all the kids there, they've picked it up pretty quick. It's not like it's some huge hurdle to overcome.
So I've seen it before. It's kind of cringy. Like the ball comes to their head and they duck. Are you for that though? If it in the vicinity, you just do it.
You get the law is, or rule is, that if it's an intentional header, it's a free kick. So, yeah, I mean, if I was here and I hit the ball and it hits your face, a referee, that's not intentional, But it's not intentional. But, again, if they know it's the rule and they duck, I mean, it's not that hard to say, hey, this season you're allowed to head, we're not going to duck anymore. This is how you head the ball. You do a few sessions on heading, and...
What happens to the player when they get to that age where they're heading? Are they still, ducking, or what?
The better ones aren't. No, I mean, if you're on the first team of most clubs, I mean, you're aggressive, you want to win, you want to play, and so you're headable. And as long as you can coach them how to head it correctly, anyone who's got a bit of trepidation about it, once you show them it's the forehead, keep your eyes open, follow through, just like you follow through on your shots on your foot. Letting you hit the ball, don't let the ball hit you.
Yeah.
And it's they pick it up. Now, if you're on the 3rd or 4th team and you're not really an athlete, I've got some players I know who are still kind of a bit squeamish about it. But hey,
hopefully the parents aren't listening.
Yeah, they're not on the first team, or the second team. But but that's not a big deal. They're enjoying the sport and learning and growing, and they'll pick up heading eventually.
Yeah, Concussions suck, man. I'm all for the protection of players, but I'm also on the other side. Like, just let them head it, man. Just let them play naturally, but don't create too many barriers. But I've had 3 concussions, and they're miserable. They're miserable. So I wouldn't want a kid to go through that, definitely. Because, like, you have headaches for, like, sometimes months. I had headaches for months.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I ran into a concrete post once. Didn't have a concussion, but, you know.
Yeah, because you're tough, man.
Just hard-headed Englishman. You know?
Because you were heading at a young age.
Yeah, it was the heading. It was the heading that prepared me for the concrete post.
Yeah.
It's still my brother's fault because he was chasing me, and I was getting away, and I looked back and was like, you know,
Boof.
teasing, and turned around and just boom.
So you were teasing though.
Well, you know, I just, you know, my
You
brother was
deserved
older. He was older.
Deserved
He
it.
should have been catching me before I hit the post.
Yeah. Well, what else you got? You got anything on that, Marcos?
No, that's too medical question, but I think that help also to bring more kids to the soccer field than.
You think they're scared? They're like,
no,
I'm not gonna
no,
go.
no.
I'm not gonna play because I'm not heading.
No. The parents.
The
is moving for American football to soccer when.
Yeah.
Because
football's too dangerous. American football's too dangerous.
That too dangerous. Maybe this rule help build more people bring to,
I would let
soccer.
my
I
son
don't know
play
if it's
American
true or
football.
not.
I know a lot of, you know, people who know American football players aren't letting some of their sons play.
Yeah.
So
Do you think we can get a shift here in Detroit from American football to soccer?
I mean, soccer's hugely popular here with
It's
the youth.
huge here.
Yeah,
It's
huge.
and Detroit Power, they got like Mayor Duggan wants to do like an 8,000 kid
Oh,
initiative.
I mean, in the city. Well,
the
you've
city,
got
yeah.
now the field house that's open. Where you
you train the kids.
I mean, and I mean, there's tons of opportunity.
Yeah,
here it's great. When I moved here 10 years ago, was fields are empty and now they are full.
Yeah.
To play adults today is hard to find a field.
yeah, that's why.
we become to.
That's
have
why we got
problem too.
Detroit Soccer District. Hello.
Yeah, but
That's a mini pitch.
Where is the 11v11?
That's a mini pitch,
Straight
but that's where the
soccer.
development grows. Mini pitches. We talked about it.
There's
futsal.
quite a few. There's some off like 14 and Trumbull, right, in that area, and near just above Corktown.
Yeah.
There's some fields. There's fields around. Belle Isle, Argentina, trained there. 94. It's overgrown.
Yeah, 94. Where else did they train? They trained in Pontiac? No, they played in Pontiac.
Played in Pontiac.
Were you here then? Were you in the
Nah.
U.S.?
No.
When did you come to the U.S.?
98.
Oh,
I was on the West Coast. I got to meet young Landon Donovan. Had a beer with him then.
yeah, you were gonna play professional or something.
In my dreams.
Yeah,
but yeah.
okay, yeah. Well, that's what you came. Isn't that what you came here for?
No, well, I came coaching. I had done a coaching license during my sports degree in England, and I was able to come coaching. And there was, there may be some trials somewhere, but I was never good enough. I was good enough to get over here and do a few little things, but
Yeah, he's pretty cheeky. I played against him before. Yeah, and he always makes fun of me when I'm playing.
it's always fun when you
like-
nutmeg a Brazilian.
Yeah. So that we only got a little bit of time left. But like, so to develop the system here, and let's take away if we believe the system here is broken.
Who
You know,
believes that?
I mean, I was at the United Soccer Coaches thing, and they believe the system is broken. I think even from an urban standpoint, because like you go from recreational to like club to college. Not everybody wants to go to college or has the opportunity to go to college. Then you go to pro. So like, how do we how can we?
So you mean that the funneling into a professional that
right,
type of
right,
system?
right. So how do we, in the inner city, how can we develop that? How can we develop a different system? And I think the big thing is like play to pay or pay to play.
Yeah, I mean, that all that sort of stuff is a bit broken.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, if you're good enough, you'll get found. If you're good enough, you're going to get found. If you're kicking around in the inner city, the clubs can do scholarships and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like any sport. The sort of Clint Dempsey, he was in rural Texas, right? He had to drive an hour and a half each way to practice growing up.
A lot of kids do that here.
Yeah.
They drive from Grand Rapids.
Well, they used to before the crew had an academy. Now the crew's got an academy.
Grand
they don't
Rapids
do that
is a
as much.
solid place for soccer, man. Hey, man,
Yeah.
they just funnel like Why are you laughing at that?
Well, I remember back and when I was playing in high school, going up over there playing Grand Rapids, and they kicked my team's butt so bad that they had a bunch of players on that team that were really good, and I was just like, shaking my head because they were way more advanced than we were.
But that's not Grand Rapids is not considered inner city. A lot of the development comes from like suburbs there, because that's an affluent area.
Well, you got all that DeVos money, you know, those fields behind Myers there. If you get the Crew Cup and that sort of stuff,
and they have a big Hispanic population there that's just dominating with like you heard of ABK.
Yeah. Well, that's the futsal. Yeah,
I think it's not the Toros. There's another one out there too.
Yeah, ABK. They focus on futsal though mainly.
Yeah,
and they do a good job with it.
Yeah, there's another one. L something. I forgot, but they have good squads coming out of there.
Yeah, I mean. To answer that question, you probably have to get. I mean, I can't really answer that. I mean, I didn't grow up in the city, and I mean, haven't been coaching long enough here to be able to answer that very well. I think you'd have to get somebody else.
Yeah, because I just work with adults, with the retired.
He's all the older. All right, so we're wrapping up for time. Any last comments from you guys? No.
Nope.
All right, so so we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. Tune in next week. If you're looking for anywhere to play a mini soccer pitch in Detroit Soccer District, check out the website DetroitSoccerDistrict.com. We're located at 5157 Stanton Street, which is by Warren and Grand River, 5 minutes west of Wayne State. You can see the Renaissance Building if you step out onto Grand River from our spot. Everyone's been there. I'm pretty sure it's been good competition. So if you're looking for personal training, leagues, rentals, DetroitSoccerDistrict.com.